I'm Lawrence Ulrich, the chief auto critic at the New York Times. I'm a Detroit native, former auto worker, former rock musician, now living in New York and writing about cars.
Kamatni Rawlins, president and publisher of Automotive Rhythms, a media marketing company that evaluates and test drives all the new cars.
I'm Alex Lloyd. I'm British, been over here for 7 years. I write for Yahoo, Jalopnik. I'm basically a former race car driver.
My name is George Polgar. I'm an automotive writer and editor. My passion is cars, writing about them, driving them. I like to pull little gags on people. Just to keep things interesting for my journalist friends, I take them to the most significant collection of antique race cars in the world.
I walked into the museum and I was kind of blown away. I mean, there's all these cool, awesome old race cars.
An antique car collection so massive.
The Alfa Romeo 8C, one of only 2 in the world. If you've got your checkbook handy, this is worth maybe $40 million.
I let them know they get to choose their own car, whatever car they want. But what they don't know is I've got a little surprise in store for them.
I picked out the Ferrari Testarossa. You've got to be kidding me. Like literally drive this thing?
Absolutely.
God knows how many million this thing's worth. And this is literally one of the cars I had on my bedroom wall. I was thrilled.
The Maserati catches my eye.
The 1956 Maserati
Christ.
300S.
Powerful V6 engine, Italian style, and just bold, just very inviting. And I open the door and it's so light and it's so gentle. I'm just ecstatic over the fact that this museum is going to let us drive these classic cars.
All right, it's all you, baby.
Jesus Christ.
This is a 1962 Ferrari 250 GTO.
You're walking up to the 62 250 GTO, your first thought, man, I'm actually going to get to take a spin in this thing. This puts a Lamborghini Countach, puts anything to shame. Just a multi-million-dollar dream machine. This is I cannot wait to hear this thing turn over. Powerful yet graceful at the same time.
I think my head's about to explode.
So now I've got them going. They're salivating. These guys are so excited. I've never seen guys so excited with their clothes on.
I mean, just look at the damn wheel on this. It's pristine.
By the way, there's no way they're driving any of these cars.
So we walk out and I'm excited to see the Testarossa outside, ready for me to get in.
I'm waiting for this baby, this cream puff, this Ferrari GTO to be sitting in. What do we find instead? A crapped out Ford Taurus.
I was really bloody pissed. Here we are in front of these bangers, or at least one banger, and some other decent cars, but they're no Ferrari Testarossa.
So I had to say George got us pretty good.
We have a brand new BMW 7 Series. Then we have an Audi Q7 diesel, and then the brand new Toyota Avalon hybrid. And then the fourth car, that's a little bit of a surprise. It's a 1984 well-worn Ford Taurus in a lovely shade of yuck green. And to make it more interesting, there's a mysterious brown fluid leaking from the radiator of this car.
So George suggested that we draw straws for who gets to drive this 82 banger of a Taurus wagon.
Whoever picks the short straw drives the Taurus.
So we're drawing straws, and I'm thinking, just please, God, don't let me get stuck with the Taurus.
Because I really did not want to drive that car.
America's best-selling car.
Bam.
Once upon a time.
Oh, I think I'm good.
Mine's gonna look short.
Oh, well. It's only fair. This was your deal.
That's right.
You screwed up, you get the Taurus.
Here we go.
You know, at the end of the day, it could be worse. I'm driving a $100,000+ BMW 7 Series. There's worse cars that I could be driving, and George is showing that.
Sure, doing pretty good for an 80s Taurus in the rain. The old man's got a few reflexes yet.
I'm behind George, and the car is leaning because, of course, the suspension is ancient.
George is beating on that Taurus.
Yeah. Boy, feel that suspension. What suspension?
Yeah, the rain's coming down pretty hard now. It looks like it's going to bring our fun to an end.
Yeah, I wasn't going to win the race in an Avalon hybrid, but I know I won the mileage battle that day.
Probably the biggest thing and the most exciting thing for me was watching George up front hustling this 82 Taurus. I mean, the thing looked like it was going to fall apart.